All right, man. Let's talk about Lions saying that something going on outside. Talking about the mystery how they gonna use Jahmyr Gibbs. They talking about that they may use Jahmyr Gibbs in some ways that we we may not that people may not think they guess that we may use him, that we may not be able to some ways. I mean, I don't know, line up at tight end. I mean, what return kicks, I don't know. Um, I don't really know. So then again, there could be some gamesmanship here, and just to try to keep the I don't know who is Frank Spagnolia still or the Chiefs defensive coordinator. There could be some gamesmanship here to try to kind of get him to over prepare and overthink um, about ways that Gibbs can be used, over prepare, and then you never get out there. Montgomery might get 30 touches and Gibbs might get 10 touches, and they weren't prepared for that. So I think it might be some type of mental psych out. I mean, where they gonna line them up at tight end, kick returner, punt returner? Where they gonna put them at cornerback? What the fuck they gonna do, an end around to them? I mean, come on, what they gonna put? They gonna put them at wildcat quarterback? What are you gonna throw the football? There's only so many ways you can use them within reason. But Ben Johnson says they'll use rookie running back Jahmyr Gibbs in some ways. People don't quite think we might. Now, what can that really mean? Well, I'm gonna talk about what that can mean. Detroit could get creative for first round running back, Jahmyr Gibbs. Um, so I don't see a real quote in here. I guess that was the quote. So offensive Ben Johnson teased on Saturday that the Lions could get creative with how they deploy Gibbs, saying we might use him in some ways people don't quite think we might. Of course, Johnson comments does get mind wandering on the specifically the team have cooked up the new for the new back. While he certainly used traditional run out the backfield, there are also assumption that Gibbs will be featured as a piece of receiver. Now we guessing, all right, and that's all we could do is guess at this point. Slot receiver, I mean wildcat quarterback. Shit, he might line up at tight end for all we know. Might line up as the up back. Um, so we just really only can really guess at this point. But I think one of the ways they may use him that might go over people's head is he might be used as a between the tackle running back. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So so he might just be used as a power back. He might just be used. He might just be used as a traditional running back, and they might think they're gonna line him up and do jet sweeps with him and all that stuff, and he may just be used as a traditional back. You ever think about that? He might be used as a in between the tackles back, off tackle back. So that's one of the ways that he can be used. So that might be some of the usage that might go over people's heads there. They might run a power scheme with him behind that line. You know, they might. And then what if they throw it to David Montgomery out the backfield to throw it off? Because Montgomery's a really good receiving back. That's what people forgetting. Montgomery's a really good receiving back. Look at his numbers. I ain't saying he no Matt Forte, but he's a really good receiving back. So I mean, it's gonna be fun to see how they use him. Obviously, what they're gonna prepare for is him being in space, him on angle routes, him running wheel routes, him running 9 routes, him running Texas routes out the backfield, him running whip routes, them getting matchups on linebackers and making them look stupid, flexing them out wide, bringing them back in the backfield, bring them in the backfield, flexing them out wide to try to stretch their defense to see if his man or zone coverage. So that's what you're gonna get. And and I think the second biggest concern for them is what they're gonna do with rookie Sam Laporta. Because if it's just as creative as they gonna get with Jahmyr Gibbs, they may be just as creative as they are with Sam Laporta. And what's that's gonna do? That's gonna create a lot of smoke and mirrors for David Montgomery to get his. That's gonna create a lot of smoke and mirrors for obviously St. Brown to get his. And that's gonna open up them deep routes for James Mitchell and Josh Reynolds to get down the field and get theirs. So what they do with Laporta and Gibbs is pretty much going to affect, and make the game easier for everybody else offensively out there, um, especially Jared Goff. So I'm excited tomorrow to see kind of how they use Jahmyr Gibbs. I'm excited to see how they utilize Sam Laporta, and how creative they get with some of these new pieces that they got. I'm very intrigued. I'm very intrigued by that. So, um, so yeah, they're piquing my interest with that. They're piquing my interest with that. They're piquing my interest with that. So, you know, so, but, but yeah, I look forward to it, man, and I think it's gonna be I think it's gonna be fun, because Andy Reid is very creative. But what really put fear in these comments, honestly, what really put fear in these comments, bro, is is it's Ben Johnson's mind, how creative he is with this offense that really kind of give validity to these comments, because he gonna cook up something nice, and year 2 is gonna prove for him, because kind of Aaron Glenn fell off year 2 as a coordinator, but the problem with that was he had a lot of injuries, and that wasn't his fault. He had a lot of injuries he had to overcome, and I pointed that out last season why I didn't think the Lions was gonna be shit, and I was right until they got healthy. Nobody talk about how I was right for that neither, but I ain't mad. But how creative and dangerous his mind is. If he cook up a really good offense year 2, and he got some new pieces, so I don't see why he shouldn't be able to cook up a really good offense. If he cook up a really good offense year 2, watch out. Watch out. Because he gone. Either Lions going to have to fire him or he gone. So, those are the videos. Share the video. Subscribe to the channel. Next subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications. Increase your chance to get notifications. You can go live or drop video. Financially, want to support the channel. Cash App, $ CJ Good 313. Venmo CJ Good 313. PayPal link inscription. Hit the link tree. Find me on Twitter, Instagram, all that. Since I have the link tree, check out Detroit Lions Talk playlist. More videos like this. Peace.